Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the live. Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, I'm looking at myself because I'm trying to figure out if I like this. It's not giving that I like it. It's not giving that I like it. So we're going to go ahead and wait for people to come into the live today. We're going to wait to see who comes into the live today. If you're watching the replay, say, hey, how are y'all doing today? Today has been a really good day for me. And I know I'm coming on at a different time than what I'm usually coming on here at. So this is my first time going live in the evening time. Ooh. I need my phone. Let me look at my phone. Hi. This is my only son. This is my only son right here. This is my baby. Say hello, baby. How are y'all doing today? He's kind of heavy. Hello. Hi. Hello. How are y'all doing today? Hi. Thank you for the first like, whoever gave me the first like. I appreciate that. What do I be doing? I do gratitude work so we can manifest the life that we desire. Hello, everybody. Hi. How are y'all doing today? So if y'all are waiting, we're just gonna wait until a little bit to see who all comes in the room today. So say hi if you're in here. Say hi. Hey y'all. Also make sure you like the live. Do with me. Everybody do with me. One finger up like this. And then do. And you gotta do it twice, okay? Do with me. Do. There you go. Hello. Oh, hi. Thank you, baby. Hi, Samuel. Hi, Elijah. Hi, Priska. Hi, Sophie. I'm doing okay, Priska. I'm doing okay. Hola, ¿cómo estás? That's crazy. Hi. Hi, everybody. Y'all tell me, how's y'all day going? How's y'all day going? Hi, Kikon. Okay, y'all. So are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? If you ready, put a 1 in the chat. If you're ready to get started, put a 1 in the chat. I just want to see. I just want to see one person put a 1. Hi. Okay, okay, okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So again, we're here. We're manifesting love and belonging. And let's talk a little bit about what that means before we get into the topic. Okay. If you are wanting to have more real, genuine love in your life and you want to feel safe in your relationships, this is why you're here today. That's why you're here today, because you want to feel safer in your relationships. You want to be yourself, be completely understood, and be completely accepted for being who you are. Okay? Oh my God. Hello, everybody. Hi, Ibrahim. Let's see. Somebody said you too young to talk about love. So, what is love? Love is the desires that you have, the good desires that you have. And honestly, when you think about it, love doesn't even have to be good desires. Love in general is just your desires. It's the thing that you're constantly caring about, right? Whether that's good or bad for you. And at the same time, one of my favorite definitions comes from the book called Love by Bell Hook. And in that definition, she basically said love is a supporting force that wishes like one to have health, wealth, and well-being. But I'm gonna look up the definition for y'all because I really, really like that definition. Carlos said, desire is a temporary state which fades away. It can. Not all desires fade away. Shout out to Ireland. Marshall said, love is showing affection unconditionally to someone you care for or people you care for. So I like Bell Hook's definition. She said, love is the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. So love is not anything that you can always just see. Although we do have, love, like acts of what's the word? People show love. It can be like acts of affection or buying things, and that could be somebody's way of showing love. But at the end of the day, love is a spiritual thing that helps support another person's life journey, is how I see it. And so if you don't feel like you're being supported in your life journey by the people that you're around, then I don't think that you feel love. And I feel like it's very easy, especially if you're like younger. If you're like around that teenage phase, around like 16 to 23, I think that those are confusing times where it's hard to even imagine that you are feeling love. Even when you can have the most love in your life, a lot of times people doubt themselves the most during that age frame, and they just cannot see the love that's around them because they have their own internal issues where they feel like they can't be themselves. So, okay, here you go. We're going to go ahead and talk about the prompt for today. It says, who lets you be fully yourself? No mask, no shrinking. How does their acceptance feel in your body? Appreciate the space that they gave you to be real. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. So I'm going to put something up for y'all if y'all want to answer the question. Hi, Sean. Who There you go. Okay. So if y'all can go ahead and answer this question right here. It says, who allowed you to be fully yourself without shrinking? Have you ever been around people and you felt like, oh my God, I can't be myself around them, and you feel like you can't do certain stuff? Pookie Wookie said, I hate love. I used to love my father, but now he's gone and doesn't talk to me. And then the opinionated Colby said, I was in one of these conversations about 3 nights ago, and the majority confused love with obligation, and I was confused. And Marshall said, I also need to love myself to love someone else. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah, love is not, you're not obligated. Are you obligated to love other people? No, you're not obligated to love other people. But I do feel in general in life, there is a sense of obligation to love, because love is the motivating force that gets us from one place to another. Like, yeah. So for me, somebody said, Royce, my boyfriend. Hey, y'all. Hey, Rick. Welcome back to the live, friend. Hey, Lily. So somebody said that their boyfriend. Somebody said themselves. By yourself. You don't have any other person, James? I feel like I can be myself with my best friend. And my cat. And yeah. That's why I can be myself around. So I only saw somebody say myself, and I seen somebody else say their boyfriend, but anybody else? Nobody else? Hi, Chesco. Hey. I gotta start blocking people, because I wasn't blocking people and I think it's getting distracting. So if you just saying random stuff, I'm blocking you. Okay. Hello, 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 Kenya. Okay, Rick, I got you, friend. Oh, wait, hold up. Go back. Okay, there you go. Marshall said, my answer is myself, because I need to find myself first in order to find someone, and to also penetrate someone's heart with your soul, because we don't know what the person is going through on a daily. So you don't have any external person that allows you to be yourself? Oh my God. I feel like with this question, I saw a couple of people say themselves, but I feel like, and that's not a feeling, I want you guys to kind of try to think outside of yourself. Try to think outside of yourself. Sorry. Try to think outside of yourself, because the reason why we're coming on live every day talking about love and belonging is so that you guys can manifest more of that into your own life. Somebody else said, yes, I am my best love friend. Okay. You are your best love. Okay, okay. Peyton, you said, what's my favorite quote? My favorite quote is, your task is not to seek for love, but to find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it, by Rumi. That's my favorite quote. The opinionated Kobe said, I would have to talk to you on a panel for you to understand the conversation from 3 nights ago. I'm not a person that hits panels usually, but the topic just fits. Devin, at first I thought this was off the topic answer, but Devin said fried bologna sandwich on top of a gas stove is love. And then Marshall said, I do have a lot, and that's my mom, because she's the one that drives me and also motivates me and guides me, and she's my best friend, and I love her. Oh, that's beautiful. That is so beautiful. So when y'all say that y'all have this certain person in y'all's life that makes you feel like you can be yourself without shrinking, where do you feel that in your body? Because I do kind of feel it. I feel it up here, like, and it feels very open. Like I can open my arms wide. Y'all know that, like, the image of people like running with their arms wide like that. Like that's how I feel. I feel very open. And it feels very strong to do in my body when I think about feeling this acceptance from my loved ones, especially in my ability to be real with these people. And you know, there are certain people who I remember, they would just remember a lot about me, and by them remembering a lot about me, it wasn't even the same feeling of, oh, I could completely be myself, but like for somebody to pay attention to you and know you're good, you're bad. Welcome back, Damien. Hey, Tony. Hello, Angel. Hey, Fatma. Okay. Yeah, so when I experience, like, when people really remember details about me, things that I don't even remember telling these people, are things that they saw just through watching me or paying attention to me, that really allows me to also feel a sense of acceptance. But it's more like a sense of acceptance, like, oh, this person cares about me, like this person is paying attention to me. But I want to see more about what y'all think. Hey, y'all. Hey, King. Hey, Jared. The opinionated Kobe said, and that's another thing. Don't most people shrink themselves? The internet allows people to be a whole other person a majority of the time. That is true. Some people be lying on the internet. Marshall said exactly what you're saying, lady. She will always remind me of the bad things I've done and also tell that I should try my best the next day. Do you feel like you shrinking or growing, Marshall? When she reminds you of the bad things, is that like helping you grow or shrink? Derek, you know what's so funny that you say that? And I was just thinking that. That's what I was literally just thinking, that you said that. Jared said, focus on this topic, yes. So where do you feel it in your body? If you can think of somebody who allowed you to feel this way, where do you feel that in your body? Thank you, Rick. The opinionated Kobe said, likes and views rule people's lives today. Nowadays, almost all of us have to witness clout ruin relationships. Really? Just Josh and bruh. You said what makes me fully myself? Yeah, what makes no, who do you feel like you can be around that allowed you to be fully yourself without shrinking? Not just what makes you, but who in your environment, what relationships do you have that allowed you to feel that way? Jared said the top. Okay. Somebody said, you lovely. Me. The opinionated Kobe says, where does love stand a chance? Oh, okay. As Zid said, love is friendship. Friendship is love. Unapologetic said, all relationships, losing people by being yourself isn't a loss, it's alignment. That's true. Okay, Marshall said, my mom be on my ass and it's good for me. I love that for you. I love that for you. I said, I love you too, baby. I love you too. Y'all, I be answering the same question every live. I went live for 30 days and I answered the same questions y'all asking every single day. Literally every single day. I don't know if I can keep answering the same question every day. I don't know if I can do that every single day. I don't know. The same exact question every single day of my life. Y'all, I'm from America. I'm an American citizen. Welcome back to the live, Trinidad. Thank you, winners, girl. Somebody said, then don't be a live streamer. I did not know this was called live streaming. I just thought it was just going live to talk, you know. Didn't think that you have to be a particular way to be on live. Interesting. Okay, welcome to the community, the opinionated Kobe. Dream Tracy says, some of us are new here. Y'all are right. Y'all right. It's just so hard. It's just so hard. I get it. Some of y'all are new. It is a lot of new people who come by the live. So, you know, I'm sorry. You know, I guess I'm just going to keep answering the question. I'm from America. I'm American, y'all. High time. So the quote at the bottom says, support feels like someone holding your hand in the dark. That's what the quote said at the bottom. It says, support feels like holding your hand in the dark. And it's very interesting because when I imagine somebody holding my hand in the dark, I wonder, like, who's leading who? Because if I'm getting that support, that means this person is leading me through the dark and I fully trust them that I will be safe while they lead me out of here. I love you too, Rodrigo. Moving forward, welcome back to the live, baby. You said, but God's plan is our final destination unless we force ourselves away from that help. Yeah, okay. Welcome back to the live, Euro R1C. Hi, Rick. Hi, Amore. Hi, One. I live in a state of peace and abundance. State of peace and abundance. Okay, Transylvania. That's a real place. Okay. The opinionator said, you'll be repeating yourself for a while. I guess let me just prepare. Let me prepare. Thank y'all for letting me know. Y'all are my sounding board. Somebody said, you said, okay, excuse me. Can you tell me about yourself and background with love? You know what's actually interesting? Is at one point I was like, I don't think I know how to love when I was younger. when I was younger. But then, you know, I got the help that I needed, and I started personal development. I started reading a lot more about these topics. I started practicing manifestation, and I started learning what it feels like to feel a sense of calmness in your body, and not to feel a state of survival every moment of your life. Because when you're in survival mode, you don't really realize that until you're not in it anymore. Like, you can't really, I truly believe that you do not really know what's going on until you exit out of that. Like, and I always go back to like fasting. Like, when you fast, you don't really know the benefits of your fasting a lot of the times until after it ends. Sometimes it'd be like a week, a couple of weeks before you really can come to a conclusion about what you learned. So how I feel when it comes to love, is that it took me a long time to get out of that state. And I started realizing, okay, I had always been around that energy of love for myself. I just didn't know how to identify it. I just wasn't aware. And awareness is always the first step to manifesting more of anything in your life. Most of the time, is you have to be aware of it. Unapologetic said the concept of love requires admiration, attraction, devotion, and respect. Okay. Okay. Girl, moving forward, what you talking about? What you talking about moving forward? Time said, I believe people still don't know how to love today. People love their feelings and emotions more than they love the person that they're with. That's interesting. Somebody said they wanted to buy a girlfriend. Oh. But you know, at the end of the day, I think people are love. People don't realize that love is what powers this universe. When they say energy, energy is love. When energy is moving, that's literally love. And I think that we mistaken love for a lot of other things that it's not. I don't think that people don't know how to love, and I do think that if you have that belief, it's going to be hard for you to have genuine relationships if you believe that people don't know how to love. But when you kind of shift the idea of love to being something that's like, for me, it had to make sense. So when it started making sense to me, it was like, okay, love is what's moving me. Love is the energy that's moving me to do things that I actually want to do. Thank you, Life with Darnell. I appreciate that. The football group said, I think that love is more than a thing. It's a lifestyle, and my wife is one of a kind. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Dennis. Hi, Nunu. Hey, y'all. Yeah, if anybody wants my love, I give my love out on live every time I'm on live. I love y'all. And I do want the best for y'all. I want the best. I want the best for myself, too. Ronald said, without shrinking, what does that mean? Okay, let's give you personal examples. So I used to be much more in shape and smaller when I was younger. Okay. And I used to be around multiple people who, whether they was like skinnier than me or they was bigger than me, they would always feel a little insecure when they would get around me because of my body. And it was just their own personal insecurities, and they was projecting it outwards, and I felt like, oh, I don't want to make them feel that way. Even though it's not me making them feel that way, I felt like I don't want to make them feel that way. So I would try to overcompensate by either complimenting them more or not wearing certain things, or, you know, not being myself. Let's just be for real. I will overcompensate by not being myself in many ways, because I didn't want them to feel that way. And so in that way, I was shrinking who I was to accommodate other people because of their insecurities. And being yourself is the act of self-love. Moving forward said it can take a lot away from you if you want someone else to love you before you love yourself. Yeah. And that is a lot. That is most people's issues nowadays. And just in general, is that they forget that you have to love yourself first before anybody can love you. You have to love yourself. You cannot have children and say that you love your children if you do not love yourself. I do not believe you can love anybody if you cannot love yourself, because you can't do something that you can't do something for somebody else that you can't do for yourself. That's like when they say on the planes and the oxygen masks come on, they say put yours on first. It's the same thing, because you're literally dying. You're not loving yourself, so you're in survival mode and you're dying. And so guess what that's doing? You're dying trying to give to other people. And guess what? They don't even, now you can't teach them how to give it to themselves. Like, you know. Hey, y'all. Stone Cotton said people be hating on the wrong things. Hey, Melissa. Hola. And a lot of people, I was thinking about this too. When we think about things that we love, and I know this is moving away from the topic because we're talking about not shrinking, but when we think about things that we love, a lot of people forget that hate is kind of like, although it's considered the opposite of love, it's on that spectrum. Therefore, when you hate, you have to love at the same time, right? Like, you love is within all things. So if you hate something so bad, there's a sense of love. There's a sense of attraction. That doesn't mean it's a good love, like, oh my God, I want more of this. Although because you're overly focusing on it, you're manifesting more in your life. It's just you're attracting this. You care about this. You're giving this your attention, you know? And that's why a lot of times when people go through a hateful phase in their life, they start feeling like, why is this happening to me? Oh, it's because you love these things unintentionally. You're loving these things unintentionally. So where you put your focus at, where you put your care and your attention, is also an act of you showing what you love. Did y'all know that? Thank you, Rick. Thank you so much. Ronaldo said, oh, okay. Then to that question, no one ever allowed fully myself without shrinking. I've always been the author of my own story. Bad characters excluded, especially bad people. Okay. Now I'm trying to figure out where that second part, how that relates to the first part about you being the author of your own story, Ronaldo. And then you said no one ever allowed you to fully be yourself. And when I say allow you, I don't want y'all to confuse that to think that, okay, these people are telling me what to do. These people are making me be this way. But what I'm saying is, when I say allow, I mean the environment, because you guys are being yourself, the environment that is created allowed you to with ease be yourself. Of course, I can't go and make that whole little thing go into that much detail, but I don't want you guys to think that, okay, if somebody's allowing me to do something, that means they're controlling. No, that means that the environment is supportive enough for you to with ease be yourself, not have to overthink it. Hello, Etini. Quinn said nobody. I always get judged. So y'all never even been in an environment. Y'all never even been in an environment where y'all felt like, okay, I don't have to even act. I can be myself. GR said, I have to resist the urge to impose what I want for a person that they may not want for themselves. Exactly. Exactly. I always say Captain Save-A-Ho. You cannot be Captain Save-A-Ho. And I just recently learned that too. Melissa said, tired of being told I don't allow him to do this or that. Don't allow who? Are you the one who said boyfriend earlier? Hey, smiling critters. Oh, you said my daughter's, my youngest son? You said you lost. Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That's okay. So, yeah, that's why I always say don't be Captain Save-A-Hoe. Because a lot of times it don't even, honestly, when you be being Captain Save-A-Hoe, it don't even be the people that you are trying to save the reason why you're doing it. Like, they're not the reason why you're doing it most of the time. A lot of times it's for whatever, there we go. A lot of times when it comes to people trying to be Captain Save-A-Hoe and they're so worried about another person, it's because of the concept behind what's happening. And I'll tell you a story. So there was an incident that I was involved in, like a group of people. And in this group, these two girls were like talking about this other girl. Like talking about her really bad. And they started to have exclusionary behavior towards this woman. And on top of that, not only they talking about them, gossiping, they're excluding them. That's bullying right there. I do not like bullies. When, like, I get it, if somebody do something to you and you have a reason not to like them and then you be on their ass, that's a different story. But when you don't know this person, you never had a sat down and really got to know this person by yourself without anybody's external, words to say whatever, there's no reason for you to be on somebody's ass and be talking about them and be bullying them. And because I don't like that, I don't really know this woman. I don't care for this woman. But I don't like that behavior. So now I'm on this woman's side. So that's Captain Save-A-Hoe tendencies sometimes. Hey, Henry. Hey, Eli. Hey, Mason. Welcome back to the live story. Star, you said, hey, by the way, where do you get your questions from? They are cool, girl. Didn't I send one of these to you? I don't know. Was this the one that I sent to you, Starry? I get them from our gratitude journal. You can find it in the link below if y'all are wondering. You can find it in the link below. It's on Amazon. Star, which one did I send to you? Now I forgot. I think it maybe was that girl. It was one of them. Tom, you said pain is love, struggling is love. I say that because those things make you grow and become a better person. Okay, well, I guess. Victor Cree said you probably weren't even born when that song came out by E40. Okay. Hey, welcome to the live WS. Hey, Kelly baby. Hey, Secret Clan. Hey, y'all. You said you're ill. No, it was a different one? Oh, okay. You're sick? The opinionated Kobe knows. Yes. When y'all come up here and we talk about these gratitude journals, I make these myself. I put every prompt in here. I make them. And then I sell them. Well, I make them for myself and I upload them on Amazon so people can buy them as well. And I am also an author. Jessica, if you want to see my son, I showed him at the beginning of the live. Okay, bye, Rick. Have a good day. Appreciate you. If y'all want to see my son, I showed him at the beginning of the live. Shout out to India. Hi, Santiago. Okay, so Renato, you said, ask for who allowed me to be myself without shrinking. That'll be my dad. He's a drunk old man, but he'd give you the shirt off his back. He taught me not only what it meant to be a man, but a human. Oh, that's beautiful. So, Ronaldo, I want to know, where in your body do you feel that? When you feel that acceptance that your dad allowed you to have by being who he is, where do you feel that? Hi, Joseph. Melissa, you said, what do you do here? Just ask questions about the discussion. You can ask questions about the discussion. But yeah, we all are just discussing the topic, which is who allowed you to be yourself fully without shrinking. So that's today's topic. Thank y'all for 88 likes. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you guys for locking in and participating today. Also, I know we can get to 95 and 100. I know we can get to 110. Can y'all like the live for me so we can get more people like you on the live? Starry, I hope you feel better, baby. I'm sorry. Thank you, Melissa. Yes. I use ChatGPT to think of these questions. So the way that I make these questions is I already do mindset coaching, right? I already do mindset coaching. And so based on the mindset coaching that I've done, I was able to see a lot of people's limiting beliefs as well as my own limiting beliefs. And I like to take a particular topic and then I put the gratitude prompts based off of the prominent limiting beliefs or what I feel like I want to overcome. So a lot of these prompts are based off of what I want for myself. It's not always based off of other people and what I work with. A lot of like the money mindset one that we just finished last time, this one, I was watching a video of this woman who I watch often. Well, not often, but I watch her occasionally. And she has that rags to riches story. You know, she used to be poor. Now she's super wealthy. She owns multiple businesses. You know, she's mentoring people in business. So she made a video talking about her money mindset and how her money mindset works. And so I used that and I wrote down notes on the video, and I used my notes plus my limiting beliefs that I had at the time about money to create my gratitude prompts. Sorry, you said, OMG, you're so young. Am I grown? Starry said, everyone wants me to shrink or they take my energy when I sparkle. Is that true? Or do you allow them to do that? Because can't nobody take your energy unless they beating you up, girl. Unless they putting hands on you, girl. Then we got another problem. Said, not your dad. Yankee said, nobody. Okay, so a lot of people, it seems like a lot of people on the lives are dealing with not feeling like they can be themselves. And I completely understand that. Because when you feel like who you are is so outside of the norm and you're not in an environment where people have the same interests as you, it can feel pretty draining. Like it can literally feel like depressing, and it could drain your life force, and it can make you feel like crazy. It can make you feel like you're going crazy. It's like, well, I can't even be myself because this might happen. Really, it's a fear of losing a lot of times when people feel like they can't be themselves. They feel like they're going to lose. Do y'all realize that human beings on here, the reason why we are who we are today, and the what's the word? The innate thing that every human being has is the desire to survive. Every human being has the desire to survive. That's like one of the first things that we're born with, right? That's why we are who we are today. And one of the worst things that can happen to a human being is to be excluded from their community. When you're excluded from your community, that's one of the worst things that a lot of people feel. And it's like a very ancient thing as well. You know, people were punished by being kicked out of the community, right? And when you're kicked out of the community, you are no longer receiving the support. You're no longer, first of all, you need human connection. It's a lot of things that you get by being in a community of people. So that is why a lot of people's fear is being excluded, being pushed away, being abandoned. And so at the end of the day, that's why a lot of people, it's hard for them to be themselves, because they feel like, okay, well, if I start expressing this part of myself honestly, then this person's going to leave me. But just like somebody said in the live earlier, if somebody leaves you after you being yourself, that means it's alignment. Alignment is happening. When you start being yourself, alignment will occur. You may lose people, and that's perfectly fine. Don't be an ass about it. Don't be trying to go off on people. Don't be trying to fight people. You know, don't be arguing with people because they don't want to be cool with you after you be yourself. Accept it and just move. That's just how it is. I can't be myself, then why are you here? Then nobody's gonna have a relationship is what it's giving. That's what it's giving. Ronaldo, you said, I feel it in my heart every day. No matter how rude, angry, or downright hostile I got, he never gave up on me. He always tried to connect with me, and I'll always be indebted to him for that. Oh, that's beautiful. Starry said, not everyone, but the main people in my life. That's beautiful. Edna said, I will know about my love. I know, Starry. It's a lot of people, isn't it? Hey, CeeLo, welcome back to the live. Moving forward, am I a psychologist? No, ma'am, I am not a psychologist. Or no, sir. Starry said, they try to take it. You need to push back. Still boundaries, yes. What opinionated Kobe? What you talking about? Chloe, you don't need to date in high school. Dating in high school is hanging out with friends. That's what dating in high school is. Go hang out. Go have fun. Don't worry about dating. Just have fun. You don't really even need a boyfriend in high school. It's not even necessary. Get you a boyfriend, get you like a couple of boy friends. Boy space friends. If you have boy friends, you'll be set. Just, they're not your boyfriend, one word, okay? Just get boy space friends, okay? Moving forward, you said, I can always be myself, but it's draining being around fake people. That's crazy. Bob said, I can't be myself with my family, so not sure. So we got to focus on where can you be yourself. If there's not a who, where you can be, who you can be yourself with, where can you be yourself? Let's look into that. If it's not a who, it's a where. So if you can't figure out who, let's start figuring out where. Okay? Let's start figuring out where you can be yourself. Is there a certain area? Is there in your room? Is it at the library, at the club, at the corner store? Andrew Norman said, no, you're wrong. Bullying builds character. It's not wrong. No, bullying is wild. Sorry, stuff is just falling over here. Bullying is wild. The character of someone who is bullying somebody who's done nothing to them and they don't know anything about. Like I said, there's a difference between not liking somebody because of an experience that you've had with them and they've done something to you versus not knowing a person whatsoever. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm moving the camera if y'all getting locked woozy or something. I don't know. There is a difference between, again, you knowing somebody and then they do something to you and now you don't like them versus you not knowing nothing about this person, listening to gossip, listening to drama, and then taking that and then acting crazy to this person and excluding them. Get to know somebody before you just start going off on people. Have a reason to not like somebody and let's not have it be some surface level bullshit. Okay, Amelia, have a good day. Trey and Katie said, my man always being myself. I gotta come on here to look at my... Okay, Amelia, have a good day. Sorry, y'all. I have to come on here because I can't scroll on here. There we go. Moving forward says, some people just have dark spirits. Yeah, because they're not loving the right things. They're not loving the right things. When you start loving the right things in your life, you start focusing on the right things, your spirit gets lighter. Trey and Kay said, boy, best friend, you mean. They ain't got to be your best friend. Just make them a friend. You ain't got to be best friends. Somebody said, what religion do you believe in? I won't judge. Thank y'all. So when you think about shrinking, again, this is another thing that I do. And I would actually love to teach y'all this because because this is what I put in my book. So if you purchase my You Are Program book, I talk about this in that book. But a lot of people are not as emotionally intelligent, and that's perfectly fine because it's not taught. So the way that I teach it is very elementary. If you want to know, well, how do I feel about this person, place, or thing? It's very easy to understand how you feel about it. I call it just using my thumbs. You know, most of the time, if you feeling good, you doing like, yeah, buddy, this is like universal. This is a universal thing that people have. Yeah, I feel good today. And it's very hard to just like, and then like not have your energy boosted. Like, you know? And then if it's like, I don't really know, it's always like this. Maybe even you moving it. Like, it's like, I don't really know. But then if it's like, I don't like that whatsoever. It's like, I don't like it. Right? And of course you can be in the middle like, yeah, maybe no. So that's how I like to teach emotional, intelligent, like tricks and tips. Just in case y'all needed to know. So if you were to say, okay, this person in my life, how do I feel about being myself around this person? It will tell you a lot. How do I feel about being around my best friend? What about you? What would you do? Now let's play a game. Let's play a game. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? We're going to play a game. If you're ready, let me know. If you're ready, you want to play a game, let's go. Hey, Kamar. If you're ready, you want to play a game, put a 1 in the chat. I just want to see how many people want to play. Okay, I see BS6 said ready. If you're ready and you want to play this game, put a 1 in the chat. Hi, Rudy. Okay, I see 1. Okay, I see another one. Okay. Anybody else? Y'all ready to play? Okay, GR. Okay. So this is a very simple game. I'm just going to go through a list of people in your life. And I want you to either put a thumbs up, thumbs down, or like this. You can even do the emoji, or you can just say in the middle. You can say up, down, middle, kind of up, kind of down. It's up to you how you feel, okay? So I'm going to say somebody. Are y'all ready? How do you feel about your boss at work? Your manager, boss, supervisor? This is how I feel. How y'all feel? How y'all feel? Somebody put it down. 2 people put downs. Oh, BS6 put sad faces. Rudy said, I'm the boss. Okay, somebody put up. Somebody up. Okay, so it's a mixture. It's a mixture. No, but moving forward said nobody can be trusted. Okay, Marco put thumbs up. Okay. How do you feel about your closest friend? How do you feel about your closest friend? How do you feel about being yourself around your closest friend? How do you feel about being yourself around your closest friend? Connie said bad, they're fake. Oh my God, then they're not your friends, baby. They're not your friends. Thank you, Tutu. Louis said, I feel like I can only be myself around myself. So now I want y'all to look at those 2 emotions. When you thought about your boss, for the people who did thumbs down, I want you to pay attention to where did you feel that at? Like, my boss. I feel a little like, I feel a little anxious. I feel a little tight, right? Because you never know when it comes to a boss. You never know. But I like her. She cool. But versus my friend, it's like, I don't feel that when I do that with my friend. Or like some of you guys, y'all said thumbs up for the boss, right? You did thumbs up for your boss. Well, how do you feel when you do thumbs up compared to how do you feel when you do thumbs up for your friend? What is that similar feeling since you have the similar, you know, response? Thank you, Lucky. Louis Square said the Holy Spirit is the only boss I have. Okay. Hi, Manaya. Thank you, GR. Appreciate you. El Diago said, make me feel good about myself and advise me when have some issues, you know? Is that what your boss does or your friend? Rudy said, associates are not the same as friends. And I don't want y'all to think that's what I'm trying to say, is that they're the same person. I'm trying to get y'all to acknowledge a similar feeling or acknowledge how your body's feelings changes when you start thinking about these things. I want you to be able to compare one feeling in your body to another feeling in your body. Moving forward, you have some very unhealthy relationships with people, because that may be true, but there are people out there who will not do that to you. There are people out there who will not treat you like that. And a lot of times, I always say this because I've always been very confused on how people can experience somebody having a certain behavior and then not think that they'll do that same thing to them, and how people be like, oh, they just switched up on me one day. And it's very hard for me to believe that people can just switch up on you one day. Like, people present the signs of who they are before it gets to an extreme point. But a lot of people don't want to get to that point. Like the whole conversation with Janaya and Kendall. What's these people's name? Janae, and Kenny. Janae and Kenny. If y'all been paying attention to that, right? I watched Love Island when it was on last year. And I knew that Kenny did not like Janae, even though he was crying. It didn't give he liked her. So for everybody to just now be able to go back and be like, oh, he's always been like this. Look at these signs. Yeah, the signs were there because he was like that already. GR says, side note, people may forget your name, but they won't forget how you made them feel. Exactly. El Diago said, but sometimes it's hard to tell if they not genuine. I don't know. That's where your intuition comes in. Like, this is how I like to do it, because I am someone who uses my third eye and my visions a lot of times to kind of see things in people. And I don't always pay attention. Well, I didn't always used to pay attention, but now I try to pay more attention to what my third eye visions are telling me about these people. I like to look at the person, and then as I'm thinking about this person, I try to think of something that reminds me of this person. What reminds me of this person a lot, the most? If you are thinking about a person and you always think, this person reminds me of the wolf that ate the grandma, and you like, this person always reminds me of the wolf that ate the grandma in Little Red Riding Hood, that tells you a lot about how you see that person. But people don't always decipher the symbols that their mind and their intuition gives to them. Moving forward, say, how do you use your third eye? You always using your third eye, in my eyes. In my eyes, because I am someone who goes into the daydream state very easily. Like, I can start daydreaming and start seeing things as I'm like, how can I even explain this? You're literally always looking at the world, right? You see the reality of what's going on. But at the same time, as you're looking at things, you're sensing things as well. So I can look at somebody and then I can say, well, this person reminds me of Superman. And then I start envisioning Superman. That's your third eye. I start envisioning Superman as I'm saying this person reminds me of Superman. So if you ever want to really just like be like, okay, how do I feel about this person? Just always be like, this person reminds me of, and then finish the sentence. And then ask yourself, what do I think about the person that this person reminds me of, or the thing that this person reminds me of? Do I like it? Do I hate it? Do I want more? Am I scared of it? Mistress said maybe is community. What you mean? And then move forward. You said how you open it. I feel like, well, they say technically when it comes to your pineal gland, like you can change the type of toothpaste that you use. Certain toothpaste have certain ingredients that they say can calcify your pineal gland. I would say drink more water, stay hydrated, always meditate, and always focus on your visions. Focus on the visions that you got. Fluoride. Thank you, J.R. Stark. That's the word. Moving forward says, so you sense it like you read off energy by how they make your body feels. Yeah, and that's another thing. I don't want you, when I say that, yes, that is how it is, but at the same time, you can have trauma that can impose on your intuition. So if you are escaping survival mode, I don't want you to always be like, well, my intuition, this is my intuition always speaking to me. So it's a conversation that you have to have with yourself when you're experiencing these things, and you have to be like, well, is this intuition? Is this trauma? And sometimes you do have to take a break, like back up and not be so engaged in whatever it is if you can't decipher if it's your intuition or trauma. You said, so you answered? Oh, you answered, your community allowed you to feel fully yourself without shrinking? You said, yeah, it feels like it gets in the way. And that's all you have to do. What I like to do is page 33. But that's in my book, page 33. And let me show you just in case y'all are interested, because I do have all the information I talk about in this book. Sorry, I didn't have it next to me, so give me a second. So I like to use my page 33, and I'll show you what it is. Here it is. So right here, and I know it's backwards. Y'all always tell me it's backwards on y'all screen, but this is how I process through my emotions every single night. I try to do it every single night because it's always a bad emotion that you can feel every single day. You might be feeling a bad emotion. So I try to do it every single day. And so what that helps me do is it shifts negative emotions. So I can see and I can experience these things in a lighter way. I'm not interacting with some of these things in trauma. It's not like, oh, I hate this, or this thing is making me anxious, So that's how I kind of release those negative emotions so that I'm not stuck in trauma. Because I feel like trauma can occur, it stays longer when you get stuck in that loop of being used to these bad emotions, these negative emotions. So just shift them. Shift them so you can see things more clear. Y'all, I'm from America. What you mean, sea salt? He said sea salt, question mark? What you mean? You love beautiful? Okay. It's Fredo said, let me see what you said. You said, having trouble coming out of my shell and being myself while being confident at my job, speaking to clients with sincerity and clarity. I've been negative throughout my life. I'm 29 now. Okay, you coming through a breaking point. Awareness is always the first step to getting somewhere. So you're coming to a breaking point. So be proud of yourself that you're aware of what's happening with you, and then make a decision. Do you want to be yourself more? Do you want to be yourself but in a professional way? Do you want to continue to limit yourself? And then you just go from there. Just make the decision now. How do you want to go about that? Bye, mistress. Okay, friend. It's Fredo said, I want to change. So then you just make that decision and say, hey, how do you want to change? Do you want to be yourself, right? So what aspect do you feel like you are not expressing? Professional and kind, thank you very much for responding. Of course. Hey Algeria. Hey Naveen. We gotta think about what aspect of yourself are you shrinking when you're around these people. I do think in a professional setting, it is a natural sense of shrinking, because you're not going to always just say whatever you want to say. You're going to rephrase it in ways, right? So I do think some of that is normal. You said, it's Fredo, sincerity, even though I'm sincere at heart. You want to be more sincere? But you already feel sincere? That's very deep. I feel like that's something that we would have to have like an actual in-depth conversation, because you're contradicting yourself in that moment. If you already, if it's in your heart, that's who you are. Your heart is your amplifier. Your heart is only amplifying things. Yes, how could I get my message across without harming individuals? Say it professionally. Use ChatGPT. Go to chatgpt.com and put exactly what you just said, and then put the message. Because sometimes that's what I do. When I'm like emailing professors or somebody, I'll go to ChatGPT and I'll say, help me revise this. These people on this at this job are so damn slow. I'm so tired of dealing with these people. Please come send help. Send it to ChatGPT. ChatGPT gonna make it professional. They're gonna say, hello, I hope you're doing well today, and I appreciate everything that you've done for me. I would like some support by doing this, this, and this at this time. Da, 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 da. So that's what you do. That's how you do that. You go to ChatGPT. Which is the world allows me to be myself, though the challenges I would say we experience in life through each other, being overcoming struggles, build muscle. Okay. I don't know. Hey, Mondarius, welcome back to the live. You're welcome, Miss Fredo. You got this. If you already sincere, I don't think you should worry about coming off as sincere to other people. Unless people are coming up to you and being like, you're acting fake, you know? But always self-reflect. Journal about it too. Because nobody's opinion really matters except for yours. And you have to be supportive to yourself. Hi, Mondarius, friend. Y'all want to talk about anything else before I get off alive? What y'all want to talk about? Because we answered the question. Are you being for real? Double O. Hashtag. You being for real? Let me know. Hey, Chick Kicks Thunder. No, friend, I don't remember you. Hi, Meiana. Welcome to the community, Chick Hicks Thunder. It's Frito. You said tips on how to self-love and self-develop. Okay. So one thing that I like, I have here, I'll show y'all this. I made some bingo cards with self-care. So every time I just changed this like literally like last night. So every time I complete something on my self-care list, I just draw a heart on it until I get it all blacked out. So I have a few of these that I do, and I have that hung up. So that's one way. Doing the bingo, it also kind of like is a positive reinforcement. It makes me want to keep doing it. It makes me want to like, yeah, I got a bingo, you know, and I love drawing the hearts. So that's one way. Self-care is going to always support you in having more self-love, because you have to care for the thing that's managing your life. Like your body is what's getting you from place to place. It's allowing you to live life. So if you're not taking care of it, you are going to be depressed. Another thing, personal development. The easiest way to have personal development is make a playlist on YouTube. And then when you go to sleep, just listen to that playlist. And the playlist should be full of audiobooks. personal development audiobooks, spiritual audiobooks, whatever audiobooks you're interested in learning more about, put that on when you go to sleep. It's almost like listening to sleep affirmations. But I used to have moments when I was younger, I would go to sleep with these audiobooks on, or I would just go to sleep on my watch later playlist. And it wasn't always audiobooks. It would just be like conversations and stuff. And I would wake up in the middle of the night and I would hear a quote from a book that was so profound. And then it would make me want to go listen to the book some more. So just those are two things that you can do. Have a to-do list with self-care and like reward yourself when you do something. GR, you said, is it correct that you use a holistic approach? It seems that way to me. I never really thought about it, but I guess you can say holistic. I try to use evidence-based research with the things that I discuss with y'all, as well as just my spiritual beliefs on top of that and my own reasoning. And I do want to support the mind. And through supporting the mind, you support the soul. Because you can live in your body with more ease when your mind is at peace. And when your mind is at peace, you can support your body as well. So at the end of the day, I guess it is. I guess it is holistic. Somebody said, I'm being me right now and you just ignore me. No, you're being annoying. You're being annoying. That's not being you, baby. People, it's not being you when you go on people's lives and you act annoying. That's not you, baby. Israel said, okay, I like the idea. I would do this tonight. Basically, all positive thinking podcasts and audiobooks. Yeah, for sure. And friend, you said that's you being you. No, what you're being is you're seeking attention. And most of the time, people who are seeking attention are seeking love. That's why I haven't blocked you, because I feel like you're seeking a community and you want attention. And so I'm allowing you to show up consistently on my live. So you can feel that here. That's who you're being. That's who you are. But you being annoying is not who you are. You craving love and spamming people so you can get the attention so you can get it, that's who you are. Hello, Tasha? Which one is it? Because that look like it's spelled Tasha. But it's very a unique way to spell it. It's Tasha. That's very unique. And you black? Oh, yeah. Very creative. Very creative. It's cute. Well, you're just nice. Thank you, baby. You're Jamaican? Oh. Hi, Pink Paw Puff. Jamaica speak Tasha? Okay. Oh, they speak English. I have a son. I'll show my son at the beginning of the live if y'all want to see him. Hi, J. Crew. Hi, Eben. Does anybody else have anything y'all want to talk about before we get off the live? Thank y'all for the likes. I appreciate you guys. Favorite song? We gotta stay on topic. That's not on topic. Oh, thank you. You said clock it. Clock it. Stay blessed. What y'all want to talk about before we get off live? If not, we can get off and I'll see you guys tomorrow. The money? You loved one? Are you into conspiracy theories? Kind of. Not like deep enough for me to just, consume myself with them. But I'm interested in hearing them. What's your daily morning routine to build self-confidence for the day? For me, I don't want to just be like, oh, I have a great morning routine for me to share. I can share with you what I do, but I'm not saying that this is what helps me build self-confidence. I think that I just naturally am a confident person through paying attention to the things that I've accomplished and appreciating myself through that. But I don't think it's my daily routine that builds the self-confidence in the morning for all day, you know? So if you're wanting to build self-confidence, I would tell you to create a list, my friend. It's Fredo. Create a list of all the things that you've accomplished. And then every day you read that. And read it every single morning. That's how you're going to do it in the morning. That's your daily routine, to build that every morning. And then add on to it. If you said, first of all, if you said that I want to do this today, let's say you said I'm hungry and I want to go get some steak today. And you go get steak that day and you feel confident about it, write it on your list. You know, if you won a medal for being intelligent, write it on your list. I don't care if it was in 5th grade. If you was proud of yourself because you passed your driver's test, write it on your list. Hey, LaCosta McGee, you said it's me again, girl. Make sure you subscribe. You talking about it's me again? You act like you was not gonna ever see me again. I want you to see me again, girl. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Also, it's Fredo. I also have a bulletin board. I actually got this from my best friend. I got this idea from her. But I have a board next to me. And I go on Canva and I make my own achievement cards. I know this sounds crazy, but I do it. I go on Canva and I make my own certificates of achievements for like the most random stuff. Like this one right here, I said, congratulations for being able to do 20 sit-ups with the yellow ball. Y'all know that yellow ball, you do like sit-ups like this. I did 20 of those. And it took me a long time to get to that point. And I said, your efforts are not unseen, but praised. Stay on track and you will be the baddest bitch in the world. So I make my own certificates of achievements when I feel like I've done something and I'm proud of it. And then I laminate it. And I hang it up. So those are things that I do. Oh, I miss you too, girl. You said you miss me. Hugs, baby. Hugs. Hey, Kelvin. Hey, Sunil. Hey, Miracle. Stephanie, what's your question, baby? Oh, Jay, that's beautiful. Shout out to your mama. Hopefully she gets more strength to continue. You're so welcome, Miss Fredo. You're so welcome. Stephanie, baby, you said you got a question. Ask it, my love. Hi, Pixie. Yes, laminated. When you laminate it, it's something about laminating, something that gets you. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I literally have 5 certificates of achievements that I made about 5 different things. And I also make them for my loved ones too. So I'm in school. So I made one for my classmates because we are about to end this trimester in a couple of weeks. So I already got one for my classmates, and I'm gonna read y'all what it say. Wait, do I have it? Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, no. See, they're doing too much. They're doing too much. I don't have it. I can't even show y'all right now. But I like to make them for my loved ones as well. So, like, me and my best friend, we did a fast together. And so I made one for both of us. Me and my cousins, we had a book club last year. And we read 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We read 14 books. So I took a picture of all the books that we read. And I put them on the certificate. And I made a certificate for us. So I have a lot of them. Hey, y'all. You said you're going to keep trying. I'm not going to fall back into a deep depression. Yeah, for sure. Keep trying. Depression is only a moment of life. If you work on moving out of it, you'll look back. Okay, let me tell you something, Fredo. And I see y'all's other questions, so I'll answer y'all's other questions in just a minute. But let me tell you something about depression, because at one point I had depression. And what that was a mixture of environmental things, traumatic experiences, and lack of support, lack of a community, and lack of understanding. Once I got the understanding about mindset, once I got the understanding about mindset, and let me tell you, literally, I literally wrote this like the first part of my book. So I'll just read you what I said. So it's like literally in the first paragraph of my book. And mind you, I got notes because I edited this a lot. But I said, I have experienced depression, which I believe a portion of that depression was because I did not have this knowledge that I put in this book. Although it was hard and a very confusing time for me, I am grateful for that depression that I had experienced. It has led me to the knowledge that I am providing for you in this book. Because when I was the most depressed, the way that I was trying to escape it was to learn about personal development, learn about being a healthier person, having a healthier life. So if you are depressed, start learning about how to have a healthier life. You don't have to make any sudden moves right now. You don't have to completely change your life right now, but just start learning. How do people have a healthy life? Just pay attention. That's the first step. Don't even try to do it. Don't try it. Just pay attention. Change your algorithm. Oh, your mom needed that. Shout out to you, your mom, babe. Welcome to the community explosion. Hi, Mustafa. Dwayne said, I know it's not most important, but working out helps a lot. It is. That is an important aspect. And it does, you don't even always have to actually go to the gym, but doing some form of body release, it helps the nervous system. If you want to help regulate your nervous system, do something like some jumping jacks, you know, something. Gabriel, that's not always a good suggestion, friend. Stephanie said, what do I do when a boy calls me cute? Girl. Girl, I'm not about to play with you. GR said, make sure depression doesn't turn into self-hate. Yes. Focus on self-love. It's Fredo said, this really relates to my current situation. Thank you so much for the advice. I needed this more than you know. I said, by the way, have a great day. You have a good day too, baby. Y'all remember, I'm going to be here every day. We're going to be talking about manifesting more love and belonging. I'm glad that I was able to give some support. If y'all are some young children on the live, if you're a young kiddo on the live and you want a little boy, you want a boyfriend, you want a girlfriend, let me tell you how to get it. Let me tell you what happens when a boy call you cute. Let me tell you what happens. When you are under the age of 18, when a boy calls you cute, this is what you do. You say, thank you. Do you want to study? Do you want to study together? And then after school, you go study. That's what you do. And if he don't want to study with you, he don't really like you. But if he'll go and study with you and he'll take notes and he'll quiz you on the quizzes, that's how you know he'll like you. And that means he also want to support you in your education and your studies. So if you want a boyfriend, that's what you do. Okay. He can also bring you lunch. Maybe his parents will buy Chick-fil-A for you. Let him know that you're hungry. Big Chai, these are children. That's disgusting. We're talking to children. Children. These kids usually be like 16 years old, 15, 13. And then asking what his grades look like. If a boy tell you cute, be like, what's your grade looking like? What's your grades? Because in the future, what you end up asking them is, what does your credit score look like? What do you own? What are you responsible for? Who are you taking care of? Who are you providing for? How long have you been at your job? Do you own any businesses? Do you own any investments? What's your relationship with money like? So you got to do that now. Ask about the grades, because you got to prepare yourself to ask about those questions when you're an adult. Okay. Mustafa, you said, Meiana, can you please tell me your thoughts about a student who's living in a situation of scholarship education package, expiration date, not too long, and needs to fly to America and can afford visa? I don't know. I don't know about that one, friend. You living on scholarship. Are you living on scholarship in America or in a different country? I think that's where I'm confused. And you said your scholarship is about to expire. You need to fly to America and you can afford the visa. You saying you can't or you can? Do I have a filter on? No, actually I don't. But let me turn this filter on. No sound. Oh my God. How long was I talking? That's why somebody said spitting facts, preach, keep talking. Because I was on mute. I'm dead. Oh my God. I didn't even notice. Elle, you so damn petty. Okay, friend. Let me tell y'all what I was just telling you. So I was talking to Mustafa. And Mustafa was asking about the visa. And what I was saying was I couldn't quite understand what you were trying to say. But what I think you're trying to say is that you have a visa that's expiring, but you want to stay to continue your education in whatever country you're in. So what I was saying is I want you to have a mental diet for 3 days. Maintain the mindset of I'm so grateful that I get to continue my education in the most perfect way. So I want you, anytime you think about anything negative with this visa experience, just for 3 days, just say, I'm so grateful that I can continue my education in the most perfect way. And just try to keep that mindset. And I want you to try to imagine what that will be like. As that's what they say, embody it. I want you to try to think, don't even try, just feel it out. That's how I want you to do. I want you to try to feel out how that will feel. Don't even think about it. Just be like, how would it feel if I was able to continue my education in the most perfect way? And just try to think about a moment when you're relaxed, when you're the most relaxed. When you are the most relaxed, that's how you embody something. Is when something is the most easiest to consume or to put yourself in that. You can put yourself in it is when it's the easiest, right? And you can put yourself in a new dimension when you think about the most relaxed aspect of yourself in that new dimension. I hope that makes sense, Mufasa. I hope that makes sense. That's how you're going to manifest. Think about where you are in the most relaxed states. But I think I've been on here for a long time. I've been on here for a while. Almost 2 hours. I had a good time with y'all today. I really did. And I'll be on here tomorrow again. I'm going to go ahead and get my life together. But I appreciate everybody who's came on here. I love y'all. And I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of y'all's evening. I appreciate everybody who even commented, like Cap, who just said hi, hello. I hope you're having an amazing day. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.